Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today it's all about fall, so I'm going to be creating a pumpkin mandala, and I made this file for you so it's free on my blog, and I made it in two different materials like cardstock. So the first one that I did that I've already created, and I'll show you here in a little bit, is I used Cricut sparkle glitter paper. It turned out gorgeous if you like bling. I also like it because the glitter is not loose, therefore it doesn't scatter all about. And the second one I'm going to be making and showing you today by using Cricut's fall colors. So basically you could use any color you like, but these are the pack that I had chose from was Cricut's fall selection of cardstock, just regular good old cardstock. Alright, so let me show you how to get your free file. So this is my website up on my screen. You want to go to createswithlove.com and you want to go over to the resource library and click on that. It's going to take you to the resource library. If you already have the password, you enter it here. If you don't have it yet, you request the password here, and that subscribes you to my email newsletter, but also gives you the password. Okay, so I've just entered my password, and the template that you're looking for is right here, the pumpkin mandala templates. Click on that. It's going to, down in your lower left hand corner, it's going to download the zip file. You can click the arrow and you can click open. It's going to open the file right here. You have several choices depending on how your computer is set up. You can double click it here or you can extract all. I'm going to go ahead and double click. And here are the files that you can use. I'm going to be using the SVG file. What I like to do is let me minimize everything that's on my screen. And I'm just going to take the SVG file and drag it to my desktop. Now I can close this because I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this file into Design Space. So here's my Design Space on the home screen. I'm going to click on New Project. I'm going to click on Upload. I'm going to click on Upload Image. And now I'm going to take that file that I added to my desktop and I'm just going to drag it right here. When it turns green, let go of the file. I'm going to go ahead and add a tag for fall and click Save. Click on the file. Once you get the green box, click on Insert Images. I know that I want to make this file 10 inches, so I'm simply going to go up to the width and put 10 and hit enter. This is going to make my pumpkin mandala 10 inches. You can make it whatever size you like. I've got everything here. It's actually, the file is ready to go if these are the colors that you want to use. These are the colors I'm going to use for my cardstock. If you wanted to change your color, let's say this one, the outside piece is this one. Let me shut these off so you can see what layer that is. This is the top layer. It's in gold right now. If you wanted to make it a different color, simply click here and choose perhaps maybe red. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and change it back to a gold color and turn these layers back on so you can see all of the layers. Alright, so basically this file is ready to go. It is 4 layers layered from top to bottom. I'm going to go ahead and click on Make It, and I will, well, first of all, let's select our material. We don't need to mirror anything, so everything's perfect here. Click Continue. I'm going to go with medium cardstock, 80 pounds. And it's telling me to load my fine point blade and load my mat and press the load button. So I'll meet you over at the maker. Here we are at the maker. I've got my load button flashing, so it's ready for me to load my mats. What I did was I used my Cricut brayer to smooth my first layer of paper on. The reason why is my mat is in need of a cleaning. It's been used, oh my gosh, a long time. but this will help my paper stick and buy me a little bit more life before I do clean my mats. So basically, I've put my cardstock in order of how it is lined up with Design Space. I'm going to go ahead and load my mat. This is a pretty large file, so I will probably be fast forwarding through a lot of this because of the time it's going to take to cut such an intricate design. Okay, so I've unloaded my mat. I'm going to turn my mat upside down, and then I'm going to peel back the mat and just gently release the paper from the mat. And as you can see, it cut very well. It's just going to come right off. There'll be some pieces that we'll have to carefully weed a little bit further. So you want to go slow so as not to accidentally tear something that is still stuck on the mat. Move it. There we go. And of course, if you have a really, really new mat, you want to be even more careful than you see me doing now. So I have a lot on the mat, not to worry about that. I can pick this up and move it out of the way. So this is what we have minus what I still need to weed out of it. So it still has a little bit of work to do, but it did really great using just the fine point blade. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment. We'll set it right here. And then what I'm going to do is use my extra large scraper. And I'm going to just simply take it and scrape this part off. Okay, move this a little bit out of the way. Get my next piece of paper going, which is more of the orange. And then again, I'm using my brayer because my mat has been used a lot. And when I say a lot, I use my Cricut a bunch, and I probably haven't cleaned this mat at least 6 months. If you take good care of your mats by keeping them covered and clean most of the time, then your mats will last a long time. Okay, so something else I like to do on a design that cuts this much is I like to take a piece of aluminum foil, and I'm not going to touch anything here except for just to take my fine point blade out. And I'm going to take this and push the plunger just a little bit, just enough to bring it out a little bit. And I'm going to stab this ball of aluminum foil about 25 to 30 times. Now, keep in mind this does not sharpen the blade, but it does clean it. Paper is made from pulp, and some of that pulp can stick to your blade and cause issues, especially with the intricate cut design like this. So this helps make sure that nothing is stuck to your blade. Believe it or not, even something that you can barely see, such as a little fuzzy, can mess up a very small cutout design. So this just helps it. I'm going to do this because this is a large file with a lot of intricate settings. I'm going to do this process in between each of my colors of paper. Alright, so I'm going to load it back in, load my blade. And then I'm going to go ahead and load my mat. So I'm going to continue with this process through the rest of the colors that I have, and I will fast forward it for you, and then when it comes time to putting our project together, I'll slow the speed down so you can see that part. So I'll see you in a bit. everything's done cutting, and you can see how cute this all layers out to be. Now at this point you have a choice. You can either glue everything so that there's no separation between the layers, or you can use something like, this is my favorite for this type of mandala, because the lines are so narrow in a lot of the places. I like to use this type of tape. This is double stick tape that has a protective or a little layer to protect the sticky side here. And I just cut whatever size pieces I need. And this has lasted me a long time. And you just cut them, and then you place them, and then you peel the sticky off and put the layer on. So super easy to use. I know I've used glue dots before, and I like glue dots, but I like this because it's more of an even layer. So it depends on what look you're going for and the type of mandala that you're working on. Now let me show you the one that it's actually called sparkle paper. So this is the type of packet it comes in if you're looking for it like on Michael's or Joann's or a store like that. But this is the paper. It's quite thick. This is one of the colors, very beautiful. Okay, and you can see there's nothing loose about this glitter. It's actually got like a little plastic thin coating over it. This is very nice paper, and it comes in different colors. This happens to be this shade of colors here. Great for fall projects. This is the mandala that I made using that exact paper, and I thought it turned out so cute. And I used this tape in between these layers. I know it's kind of hard to see at an angle, but in between, maybe if I do it sideways, you can kind of see it from the side. Okay. And again, I'll show you a little bit how I start the process, but I don't want you to sit through the entire time of me putting on all these little itsy bitsy pieces of foam. But I wanted to show you this is how gorgeous this project can look if you separate it and use that sparkle paper. And then now I'll go ahead and put this file together, and I'll show you at the end what it looks like using cardstock. I think these colors are awesome for fall, and it should be really cute. So what I like to do is start with the bottom piece. And the trick to doing a mandala and getting everything placed even is to take your very bottom piece and turn it upside down. Put the tape on this side. Then you'll be lining this up perfectly. I like to, with this pumpkin file, I like to line it at the bottom and then make sure that the pumpkin stem is lined up, and then you're good to just place the rest of it down. Okay, so that's the process that I'm going to be doing. And the first thing I do is just take off peel back a little bit of the tape, and it takes a little while to do this process, but the end result is awesome. So I just trim off little skinny little pieces. You can see that's not very it's not very wide pieces, and sometimes I'll cut this piece in half that way for some of the smaller parts. And then depending on how much your file is going to be handheld, depends on how much tape you're going to need. So if you have little ones that might be carrying it around a lot, you might want to use extra tape. Otherwise, if it's just going to be something displayed, you only need as much tape as what's going to keep it basically a level looking project, so you don't have like dips, right? You don't want a dipped pumpkin. So this is the process that I have found works great for me, and you might find your own process or your own products. If you do, feel free to leave me a comment, and we can all learn from your processes as well. So So this is a good amount to get me started. I'm going to need a lot more than these strips here to do the entire project, but I wanted to show you how I get started on it. And then again, I will go ahead and fast forward through actually most of this, because I think it would be quite boring if I did it. And then I don't know if you've noticed, depending on how you do your colors, but basically on a mandala, at least a lot of them, how I designed this one is you're going from the biggest piece, which is the black one. This one has the next widest pieces, right? All of these pieces are wider than the orange one. So if you get your file out of place, that's how you can recognize to put it back in order. And then of course the skinniest one goes on top. So there's a little tip for you. All right, I'm going to set that aside. This is my first layer to go on top of the black, so I'm going to turn this one upside down. I'm just going to set this aside. And then this is how I do it. I take it and I put a piece down. And I don't take the tape off yet. That just kind of slows me down. So I just start taking pieces and putting them in places that make sense where it might dip. I probably put a little bit more extra on the stem because it's up towards the top of the file. And then this is one that I'm going to go ahead and cut in half. So I can just fit it right here. And then I'm going to take that other half and fit it right here. Okay, so you can see how quickly I actually just did that stem. But like I said, it does take some time, so I wouldn't try to rush through a project like this. And you can just do them every so far apart from each other. Save some of these skinny ones for maybe some of these. I don't go around the outside edge. I would rather go up towards the top and do like that. Another reason I like this tape is you can bend it somewhat in a curve. I find that quite helpful. So that one, it's probably hard to tell with my fingers in the way, but that one I actually curved a little bit. So this tape is very user-friendly for that. And again, you don't have to get every part, right? Like I could put one here, but I'm choosing not to. Mine is not going to be handled a lot. It's just going to be sitting on a stand like this. I love these stands for seasonal items, for, you know, on top of our TV stand or on our mantle, you know, in the family room, wherever. This is great because no matter what season it is, I can have a mandala sitting on it, or some type of a beautiful project I've made with the Cricut. So I just love having those on hand. I can link in the description where I got those below if you like. Alright, so you kind of see where I'm going with this. I'll go ahead and line so many around here. I'll line so many around here. I'll cut some in half and put in each spot here. And I'll do this process around this whole outside edge. And that's what I'll do. Once I get the tape on, I will simply peel off all the top little pieces of paper. And like I said before, I'll just simply line it starting, and I'll be careful not to let the tape touch. And I will just simply line it up at the bottom. Once I know that the bottom is lined up, the rest is just going to fall into place. So it's really super, super easy. All right, I'll go ahead and fast forward through this part, and I will meet you at the end. here is the final project. This is the whole pumpkin mandala put together in the layers by using this tape. It's a 4-layer mandala, and I like to put it in a stand like this so you can display it however you like. So here's the two different materials side by side so you can see the difference. It's the same file. I made this one a little bit bigger. Alright, how cute is that? I love to see the difference by using different materials but the same file so you can get different looks from it. And I could even envision this being done in different colors than the ones I chose. So I hope you enjoy the file, and remember to create with love. Bye.